Brandy Scott and Tom Urquhart.
So, UAE President Sheikh Mohammed's visit to the US this week expected to elevate UAE-US relations yet further, with a big focus on economic and technological ties. So much to get into here, but history will be made a little later today when President Sheikh Mohammed is received at the White House by US President Joe Biden. Let's get some more thoughts on the significance of this trip now. We're joined by the chairman of AmCham Dubai, that's formerly the American Business Council here in Dubai. Sammy Bousaba has been kind enough to join us. Sam, thanks so much indeed for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Look, there have been there have been countless visits between UAE and US delegations down the years. Why is this one so significant?
I think a couple of things. First, I think looking back, like you said, 50 years of history between these two nations, built on trade, built on economics, built on security, cooperation, collaboration, has been a solid foundation, and it's been an amazing journey. What's so significant about this is two things. Number one, it's the first visit to the White House by a sitting president in the United Arab Emirates. And secondly, look at the agenda. It's just a completely... Okay, you have your regular agenda items that you would have with any state visit, but the agenda items that are new is something that's just fascinating for business and for the governments as well.
Talking of that agenda, one thing that really struck me is the focus on all things AI. Now, I know there's not a conversation that can't go by in any industry at the moment without talking about AI, but there seems to be a real play here about looking towards the future and building towards the future. Is that right?
Absolutely. And you know, I was trying to Google it earlier, actually. I tried to find another government in the world that has a minister of AI, and I don't think there is one right now except the UAE.
Yeah.
So if you look at the perspective, I mean, you're talking to one of the leading countries in the world that invested in AI in the United States with all the AI technology coming out of the States, and you look at a government that has a minister of AI who's embracing this technology, put the two together, and I think you have a pretty symbiotic relationship that can take AI really forward in a different way. What we heard on some of the articles was UAE can be used as a sandbox of AI. What I think coming out of that will be new regulations around AI, maybe some testing of what works, what doesn't work in terms of AI regulations, frameworks, policies that govern AI in the future. And I think that's something that hopefully comes out of this visit and sets the stage for AI growth.
I think you're so right there. You know, when you see that perfect alignment between the two, they seem to be in tandem with whether one will go with AI at the moment. But I mean, using that as a sort of launch pad, do you see other areas of potential cooperation?
Absolutely. I mean, looking at the agenda again, you have AI, obviously. And by the way, AI is also an enabler, right? It's not just a topic of discussion. It enables every sector imaginable. So there's that. Then you have space. I think space is going to be top of the agenda. The last time, I think, well, not the last time, but going back in history, 1974, NASA came to the UAE and talked about the Apollo missions. Now the UAE is going to the US. We're talking about Artemis with NASA. It's pretty significant. It's pretty astounding that space is going to be one of the key topics this visit. Renewable energy was on the agenda. I think that's going to be an economic driver of growth as well, as they discuss kind of the way forward with renewable energy and how the two countries can really look at it from a business perspective to drive some new investments and some new technologies in that space.
Where are we at trade-wise between the two nations at the moment?
We hit a record in 2023 between the two nations, $31 billion of trade. Significant. UAE is the largest trade partner for the U.S. in the region, in the Middle East, so that's significant in and of itself. I think the aspirations are enormous. You know, there's some numbers out there that, you know, there's going to be $1 trillion partnership between these two countries. And I think that's going to come from diversifying, from investing, and from creating opportunity. Absolutely.
I found that it was interesting reading the thoughts of Dr. Anwar Gargash about the forthcoming visit as well, and him talking about how do we want to realign our relationship with America for the next 10 years. This isn't just, you know, a handshaking process here. This is building the future together, isn't it?
Absolutely. And look at the foundation it's built on. And if you look at the foundation that we have between the two countries, it's built on such trust and credibility and success over the last 50 years. I think it sets the stage for the next 10 to next 50 years to be extremely successful with all the investments.
And what part can AmCham play in that as well?
So AmCham's a member-driven organization. Our members, we have about 500 members here, and there are over 1,500 U.S. companies here in the UAE.
Wow.
As a minimum, I'm sure the number is higher when you look at the SME base. Our job is to really bring thought leadership, programming, and bring a voice to American business here in the region. And I think coming out of this visit, we're going to do a lot of programming around what this means, what these topics mean to not only American business, but business in the region. One other thing that AmCham Dubai has been honored with is we're now the lead of AmCham MENA, which is an organization of 13 AmChams in 11 countries in the MENA region. And I think that speaks to the UAE's leadership as a country in the region, putting AmCham kind of MENA and AmCham Dubai at the forefront to really be the voice of American business, not only in the UAE, but across the MENA region. And I think these topics that are going to come out and the program that's going to come out of the state visit will be significant to our members. We're going to do a lot to really push the agenda forward with our member base and just discuss how members here can benefit from what's going to happen in Washington this week.
We constantly talk about business infrastructure here in the region, and I know that's something you deal with on a daily basis. Is it easier to set up businesses now? When you talk to your members or future members and attract them to come over from the States and set up here, has that process got simpler?
Absolutely. I mean, I think UAE remains one of the easiest and best places for any company, but no less American companies, to do business. And one of the things that I think we push a lot with our members and with the American government is one of the top exports of the U.S. should be talent.
Yeah.
And I think talent coming out to this region is going to diversify the economy and create more opportunity. And UAE has done such a fabulous job of creating a platform to bring talent into the region, to bring companies to set up. And the best part about it is not just these large multinationals. It's the SME base that really drives economic growth. And that the UAE makes it so easy for SMEs.
So just finally, I mean, obviously we're going to have a fascinating week and we're going to see so much to develop over there in the United States. What's your message? What message would you like to convey to the business communities of both countries?
Well, I think what's going to happen out of this visit is going to be astounding. But I think the message is clear. UAE and U.S. ties have never been stronger. Trade speaks to that, and trade is the best indicator of economic ties. We are here to support American business. American business will thrive. UAE business will thrive from what's going to happen this week. I think it's going to be a monumental week, and I think it's just about creating opportunities from that.
Can't thank you enough for coming in early on a Monday morning. It's going to be a busy week for you, that's for sure.
My
Monitoring
pleasure.
Progress over there. Big thank you to you for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Sammy Bousaba, who is the chairman of AmCham Dubai, giving us his thoughts on the UAE's president's visit to the United States this week.
Dubai Eye 103.8 traffic.
Yeah, busy in the UAE this morning. I can tell you, particularly in Sharjah, the Northern Emirate, just across Sharjah, not just heading southbound. Once you get to Dubai, school run gathering momentum now. If you've got any, it looks okay in Dubai, busy but okay. If you've got any updates and if it's safe, get in touch with Brandy, with Thomas and myself. We're here live until 10 o'clock.
Dubai Eye 103.8 traffic.
Dean, who's next?
Yeah, we have got Professor Sir Carey Cooper. Who's he? He's one of the world's leading authorities on the 5-day work week versus hybrid. He's apoplectic about that Amazon 5-day week story. I spoke to him last week. That interview coming up.
Your ARN News.
Good morning, I'm Serena Kay.